Zurubang, Ultimate Battle Royale of everything and more. Battle 7. Act 1. The arena opens. A sound like a glacier calving into an ocean of crystal wine glasses reverberates across reality as the dome materializes. A thunderous kershing that makes dimensions themselves flinch. The biome generator hums, and from nothing comes everything. An ancient frozen cathedral, filling the entirety of the arena, its pillars made of black ice shot through with veins of pale blue light. Shattered stained glass windows line broken walls that lead nowhere. Snow drifts through gaps in a ceiling that doesn't exist. The floor is polished obsidian covered in a thin layer of frost. Treacherous footing for unwary. Zurubang descends from the void, his golden coat billowing despite the absence of wind. Forearms spread wide in benediction. His smile contains galaxies. Welcome, beloved witnesses, to the 7th Symphony of Annihilation. Tonight we ask the eternal question, can paranoia defeat itself? The millions roar, a tsunami of enthusiasm from every corner of existence, from the tentacled masses of Dimension 7 to the politely clapping skeleton delegation from the realm of Endless Tuesday. Zurubang raises all four arms. The crowd falls silent. Behold your combatants! F tier from the universe of American cinema, FORREST GUMP, the Alabaman anomaly, box of chocolates philosopher, Lieutenant Dan's best investment. A man in a plain shirt materializes mid-run, legs still pumping. He slows, looks around with genuine wonder and smiles. E-tier, from the shadows of Ostania, Donovan Desmond, the shadowed puppeteer, Ostania's most paranoid father, the man who frowns professionally. A severe figure in an impeccable suit appears. The crowd offers polite, confused applause. A-tier! Zurubang's voice drops to reverent thunder. From the dungeons of infinite nightmare, the Beholder, the floating nightmare, 11 flavors of death, paranoia given flesh and eyeballs. The air tears open and something wrong emerges. A sphere of chitinous flesh the size of a small car, dominated by a central eye of burning malevolence. 10 eye stalks writhe like accusatory fingers. It rotates slowly, and every being it looks upon feels suddenly, personally hated. A section of the crowd wearing wizard robes begins nervously checking their life insurance policies. From the frozen shadows of Earth Realm, Sub-Zero, Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, Spine Collector, the cold that kills. Mist rolls across the mahogany as a figure emerges from frost itself, blue garb, mask obscuring all but eyes that have witnessed and caused countless deaths. He assumes a combat stance before fully materializing. From the swamps of Louisiana and the heats of heroism, Gambit, the raging Cajun, kinetic card shark, explosions on a budget. A playing card spins through the air, glowing magenta, before its thrower steps from shadow. Long coat, bow staff, smile suggesting he knows something you don't. From the demon-haunted nights of Taisho, Japan, Giyu Tomioka, the Water Hashira, master of the 11th form, socially awkward death incarnate. A swordsman appears with supernatural stillness, hand already on his blade's hilt. His expression suggests he'd rather be anywhere else but would kill everyone here if necessary. From the warring skies of Cybertron, Starscream, the eternal second, treachery given wings. I would have made a great leader. The shriek of turbines splits the air as an F-15 Eagle screams through the dome at impossible angles, transforming mid-flight into 30 feet of silver arrogance. He lands with theatrical flair, null rays already primed. Finally, an arena worth of my talents. Our final A-tier, Zurubang pauses, all four arms raised. From the hallowed halls of Hogwarts, Professor Albus Dumbledore, the supreme mugwump, wielder of the Elder Wand, lemon drop enthusiast with violence issues. An elderly man with a magnificent silver beard materializes calmly, as though arriving for tea. The Elder Wand rests loosely in his hand. He surveys the arena over half-moon spectacles with eyes that have seen and ended wars. Ah, Dumbledore says pleasantly, how curious. The beholder's eye stalks whip toward him with intense suspicion. A magic user, naturally. Act 2. Perception of the fighters. Dumbledore surveys the cathedral with the calm of a man who has seen worse at faculty meetings. A beholder, how wonderfully nostalgic, and that metal giant will require creativity. His hand rests gently on the Elder Wand. Sub-Zero keeps standing, ice forming where his boots touch stone. The giant metal being is concerning. The floating eyeball sphere is very concerning. The old man in robes feels like death wearing a grandfather costume. Worthy opponents, finally. Mon ami, this place got more chill than my ex-wife's art, Gambit mutters, shuffling his deck with practiced ease. The blue ninja radiates cold incompetence. That giant robot. Gonna need a lot of cards for that one share. Giyu Tomioka stands motionless, says nothing. The floating demon with many eyes will need to be purified. The metal demon is unfamiliar but clearly powerful. The old man is dangerous. The beholder's 11 eyes keep staring at Dumbledore. The old humanoid reeks of magic, priority target. All will die. All always die. Starscream's optics flicker across the battlefield. Organic creatures, primitive, beneath him. Except his threat assessment pings on the Old One and the floating sphere. Let them fight. Let them weaken each other. Then Starscream will claim victory, as Starscream always should. Donovan Desmond recognizes none of these creatures, but he has built an empire from nothing. He has crushed rivals, manipulated governments. This is simply another negotiation. Find the weak link, exploit it, survive. FORREST GUMP looks around at the pretty ice church and the interesting people. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. He notices a nice old man with a long beard. He looks like a wizard from one of Jenny's books. Act 3. Magical Nightmares. Zurubang's voice shatters the silence like a hammer through stained glass. May the ultimate battle royale begin! FORREST GUMP starts running. He doesn't know why. It just feels like the right thing to do. He runs past Sub-Zero, who pauses mid-ice blade formation to watch this strange man jog by. He runs past Gambit, who lowers his charged card in confusion. He runs in a wide circle around the cathedral's perimeter, arms pumping, face serene. Is he fleeing? Starscream's voice drips contempt. Pathetic. No, cher, Gambit mutters. I think he's just running. The beholder makes the first aggressive move. Its central eye fixes on Dumbledore, and the old wizard feels his magic die. The anti-magic cone washes over him, leaving him holding a stick. Oh, Dumbledore says mildly. How inconvenient. 3 eye stalks fire simultaneously. A disintegration ray, a death ray, a petrification beam. Dumbledore moves with speed that belies his age, but the disintegration ray catches his left sleeve. The fabric ceases to exist. The skin beneath bubbles. That, Dumbledore says, rolling behind an ice pillar, was rather rude. Giyu strikes. He has been moving since the word begin. Water breathing, second form, water wheel. His blade carves a perfect arc toward the beholder's central mass. The creature spins, caught off guard, 3 eye stalks severed clean. The beholder screams, a sound of pure outrage. Insect meat! You will die! Sub-Zero is already there. Ice forms around his fists as he delivers a crushing blow to the beholder's side. Frost spreads across its surface. Eye stalks spasm. Shut your trap, Sub-Zero says. Starscream watches the chaos with gleaming optics. Yes, weaken each other, fools. He transforms, metal folding impossibly, and in seconds, an F-15 fighter jet screams toward the cathedral ceiling. Gambit sees the move. Oh, no, Tin Man! He hurls a card, then another, then a cascade of 52 explosive projectiles tracking the Decepticon's flight path. The explosions rock the arena. Starscream barrel rolls through flame and shrapnel, cackling. You think your primitive explosives can harm Starscream? Worth a shot, cher. Donovan Desmond has found cover behind a frozen pew. His heart pounds, actually pounds, with something he refuses to call fear. This is insane. This is impossible. That floating eye has just tried to disintegrate someone. He needs leverage. He needs a weapon. He needs... Forrest Gump jogs past. Hey there, Forrest waves. Nice church, isn't it? Desmond stares. The man's face is guileless. Open, stupid. You! Desmond grabs Forrest's arm. You need to help me. I'm Donovan Desmond. I am an important man. If you protect me, I will reward you handsomely. Forrest looks at him with simple kindness. Mama said to help folks when you can. He pats Desmond's shoulder. But I gotta keep running. It's what I do. And he is off again. The beholder, despite losing 3 eye stalks, remains horrifically dangerous. Its charm ray hits Gambit square in the chest, and the Kajun's eyes glaze. You, the beholder commands, floating lower. Kill the swordsman. Oui, cher, Gambit says dreamily. He turns toward Giyu, cards appearing in his hands, glowing pink with kinetic death. Giyu feels the attack coming. Water breathing, 11th form, dead calm. He enters perfect stillness as Gambit's cards explode around him, but his blade moves with supernatural precision, deflecting shrapnel, redirecting force. You are not yourself, Giyu says quietly. I will end this quickly. He closes the distance in a heartbeat. The flat of his blade strikes Gambit's temple. The Kajun cramples. The beholder's charm breaks. Gambit groans, clutching his head. What happened? You were controlled. Recover. The floating demon is mine. Dumbledore has circled the battlefield, staying outside the anti-magic cone. Now he strikes. The Elder Wand blazes as he casts from maximum range, a transfiguration curse that the beholder can't nullify in time. One eye stalk becomes stone, another becomes a serpent that bites into the creature's flesh. The beholder whirls, central eye seeking, but Dumbledore is already moving. Keep it turning, keep it guessing. Sub-Zero sees his moment. While the creature focuses on the wizard, he forms a massive ice construct, a spear the size of a car, and hurls it with cryomancer strength. The spear punches clean through the beholder's side. The creature sags. 7 eye stalks remain. Its voice bubbles with hatred and failing strength. "This changes nothing!" Giyu appears above it. 11th form, dead calm, transitioning into fist form. Water surface slash. Beholder, eliminated by Giyu Tomioka. A star ignites in the arena's sky. The beholder's form, outlined in pale light, takes its place in the growing constellation. Even in death, its many eyes seem to watch with eternal hatred. The crowd erupts. The D&D delegation weeps openly. Starscream chooses this moment to strike. He dives from the ceiling, transforms mid-flight, and his arm cannons blaze with Cybertronian fury. Null rays sweep across the battlefield. Gambit dives left. Giyu dives right. Sub-Zero barely raises an ice shield in time. Dumbledore stands his ground. Confundo! The confusion charm slips through Starscream's processors like oil through gears. The Decepticon's optics flicker, targeting systems scrambling. Megatron? Starscream's voice shifts to something almost pathetic. Master, I would never betray. The plan was always to... He fires his remaining null ray wildly into the ceiling, shattering a chandelier that crashes onto empty floor. Fascinating, Dumbledore observes. Even your subconscious defaults to treachery. The confusion clears. Starscream's optics refocus and find Dumbledore's wand 3 inches from his central chassis. You were inside my head, you organic parasite! Only briefly, Dumbledore says almost apologetically. I must say it was rather crowded in there. So many schemes, so many grievances. You might consider therapy. I will atomize you for this indignity! Starscream's remaining cannon charges. Reducto! The spell hits Starscream's knee joint. Metal shrieks. The Decepticon crashes to the ground, leg crumbled beneath him. No, this is impossible! Starscream cannot fall to... Sub-Zero is there again. His hands press against Starscream's chest. Ice spreads. Not ordinary ice, cryomancer ice. The cold of the void between stars. Starscream's optics flicker. Megatron, I would have made a great leader. Sub-Zero steps back. The frozen Decepticon stands for one moment, then shatters into 10,000 glittering shards. Starscream, eliminated by Sub-Zero. A second star joins the first. Starscream's constellation form manages to look betrayed even in stellar silhouette. Donovan Desmond has worked his way toward the arena's edge. His suit is torn. His composure is cracking. But his mind, his magnificent, calculating mind, is still working. The remaining fighters are distracted. If he can just reach that frozen pillar, he can wait out the... Hey, mister! FORREST GUMP jogs up beside him again. You look tired. Want to run with me? Running's real nice. Clears your head. Desmond's eye twitches. I am not going to... I ran across America once. People joined me. It was nice. We didn't have to talk or nothing. Just run. Something in Desmond's chest, something he has buried for decades, cracks slightly. That sounds... He swallows. That sounds idiotic. Mom said stupid is as stupid does. Forrest smiles. But I've done some pretty good stuff while being stupid. Desmond stares at this simple man, this fool, and for one moment he wonders what it would be like to stop calculating, to stop manipulating, to just run. Desmond's voice cracks. I don't know how to run. That's okay, Forrest says, running circles around Desmond. My legs know how to run. Maybe yours do too. Something in Donovan Desmond, the man who has built empires on suspicion, who has never trusted a soul, who sees manipulation in every kindness, breaks. Not shatters, it breaks open. He starts running. It is awkward at first. His expensive shoes slip on the frost, his tailored suits restricts his movement, but Forrest stays behind him, matching his pace, that guileless smile, never wavering. There you go, mister! You're doing real good! Desmond feels tears on his cheeks. He doesn't know why. He hasn't cried since... Has he ever cried? They run past Sub-Zero, who pauses mid-combat to watch this bizarre sight. A man in a three-piece suit jogging alongside an idiot savant through an interdimensional death arena. What, Sub-Zero says flatly, is happening? Don't ask, cher, Gambit mutters, lowering his charged card. Just don't ask. For 3 glorious circuits, Donovan Desmond runs. He feels the ice beneath his feet, the cold in his lungs, the simple, stupid, beautiful freedom of movement without purpose. Then, a shard of Starscream's frozen remains, still tumbling from the Decepticon's shattered corpse, catches him in the chest. It isn't aimed, it isn't intentional, it is simply physics. Debris from a giant robot explosion spinning through the arena, finding the one man who has finally stopped calculating trajectories. He falls. Forrest skids to a stop. Mister, you okay? Desmond lies on the frozen stone, a jagged piece of Cybertronian metal protruding from his ribs. He can't feel his legs. He knows, with the clarity of a dying man, that this is the end. But he is smiling. Oh no, mister! You're bleeding! Can someone please help? Help! Forrest looks around frantically, waving at the battling fighters. None come. I ran, he whispers. I actually ran. Forrest kneels beside him, his simple face crumpling with genuine sorrow. You sure did, mister. You ran real good. Tell my son. Desmond's eyes grow distant. Tell Damien. His father finally stopped thinking just once, at the end. His hands fall. The smile remains. Donovan Desmond, eliminated by Starscream, posthumous collateral. A 3rd star ignites, but this one shines differently, warmer somehow. The Spy X family fans weep openly. In the stands, a small pink-haired psychic clutches her chest and doesn't know why. FORREST GUMP stands over the fallen man for a long moment. Then, because it is what he does, he starts running again. But he runs a little slower now, in memory, and with tears in his eyes. Act 4. Endgame. Remaining fighters. Dumbledore. Minor burns on left arm, ropes damaged, magical reserves at 70%. Sub-Zero. Light frost damage from Starscream's null ray, fully combat ready. Gambit. Mild concussion from Giyu's strike, deck at 60%, functional. Giyu Tomioka. Minor shrapnel cuts, stamina holding, blade pristine. Forrest Gump, still running, completely unharmed, blissfully unaware of danger. 5 remain, 4 warriors, 1 runner. They form a rough circle in the cathedral's center. Snow drifts between them. Breath fogs in the cold. "Well," Dumbledore says pleasantly, "this has been bracing." "It ain't over yet, cher," Gambit replies. Giyu simply shifts his stance, water-breathing, dead calm, ready. Sub-Zero's eyes move between opponents. All worthy, all dangerous. His ice forms and reforms around his fists. Forrest Gump jogs through the middle of their standoff and continues his circuit. Nobody attacks him. It feels wrong somehow. Giyu moves first. His blade sings toward Gambit, who deflects with his charged bow staff. The impact sends kinetic ripples through the air. Giyu presses, form perfect, relentless. Gambit gives ground, cards flying between staff strikes. Sub-Zero engages Dumbledore. Ice versus magic. Frozen spears against transfigured shields. The Lin Kuei Grandmaster is brutal efficiency. The Headmaster is elegant adaptation. "You fight well," Sub-Zero acknowledges, forming an ice clone to flank. "Likewise," Dumbledore banishes the clone with a gesture. "Though I confess I prefer chess." Sub-Zero almost smiles. Almost. Gambit knows he is losing. The swordsman is better, faster, more skilled. His cards are running low, and that blade. "Sorry about this, cher." He grabs a chunk of ice from the floor, charges it, throws it, not at Giyu, but at the ground beneath him. The explosion sends Giyu stumbling. Gambit presses the advantage, staff sweeping for the swordsman's legs. Giyu recovers impossibly fast, dead calm. His blade redirects Gambit's staff, guides it past, and continues into a rising slash that opens Gambit's shoulder to the bone. The Kajun gasps. His staff falls. "You fought with honor," Giyu says. "Rest." Gambit, eliminated by Giyu Tomioka. The 4th star, the X-Men fans cheer his name. He's done them proud. Sub-Zero is relentless. Ice constructs forming and shattering in rapid succession. Frozen clones flank from impossible angles. Spears of Arctic death hurl with killing precision. The temperature plummets until breath becomes agony. Dumbledore moves like smoke, apparating micro-distances, transfiguring ice to steam, conjuring fire that burns cold. His wand is everywhere and nowhere, the Elder Wand singing with ancient power. "What a fight," Sub-Zero acknowledges, forming twin ice axes. "But cold is patient. Cold is inevitable." "Indeed." Dumbledore deflects a frozen blade with a shimmering shield. "But I have learned from patience, from centuries of faculty meetings. You cannot outlast a man who once listened to Professor Bin's lecture for 6 hours." Sub-Zero presses forward. His axe shatters Dumbledore's shield, and keeps going. The blade catches the wizard's shoulder. Blood steams in the frozen air. Dumbledore stumbles. For a moment, victory gleams in Sub-Zero's eyes. Then the blood transforms, becomes fire, becomes a phoenix of pure flame that erupts from the wound and engulfs the Lin Kuei Grandmaster. Sub-Zero roars, encasing himself in layers of protective ice. The phoenix melts through the first layer, the second, the third. "Incarcerus!" Ropes of magical fire wrap around Sub-Zero's limbs. He strains against them. Ice forms and melts, forms and melts. "You fight with everything," Dumbledore says, breathing heavily. "I admire that more than you know." "Then finish it." Sub-Zero's voice is strained but proud. "I will not beg." "I would never expect you to." Dumbledore raises the Elder Wand. For a moment, genuine sadness crosses his ancient features. Stupefy Maxima! The enhanced stunning spell hits Sub-Zero like a freight train made of lightning. The ice around him shatters. The Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei falls to his knees, then forward, face first onto the frozen stone. He does not rise. Sub-Zero eliminated by Albus Dumbledore. 5 stars now blaze above. Sub-Zero has fought a god wizard to the edge of defeat. He has drawn blood. He has died standing, well, kneeling, like a true warrior. Giyu Tomioka watches in silence. His respect for the old wizard deepens. This is not a man who avoids battle. This is a man who chooses his battles with terrible wisdom. 3 remain. The greatest wizard of his age, the Water Hashira, and Forrest Gump jogs between them again. You folks sure do fight a lot. Giyu and Dumbledore look at each other, at Forrest, back at each other. He has survived this entire battle, Giyu says slowly, by running. Indeed, Dumbledore's eyes twinkle. A profound strategy. Should we? I think not, Dumbledore smiles. Some victories are earned, others are simply stumbled into. Let him run. Giyu nods. He understands. Some things transcend battle. They face each other properly. Wizard and swordsman, magic and blade. You're honorable, Giyu says. I respect that. And you are extraordinary, Dumbledore replies. But I fear I must end this. Then do not hold back. Don't worry. The final exchange is brief and beautiful. Giyu moves with everything he has, dead calm into striking tide, into waterfall basin. A cascade of forms flowing into each other like poetry made steel. Dumbledore meets him with magic shaped like light, like thought, like the distilled essence of a century's wisdom. He parries with shields that aren't quite there, strikes with curses that bend probability. Giyu's blade kisses Dumbledore's robes, draws blood. Dumbledore's wand touches Giyu's chest. Stupefy! The Water Hashira crumples. His blade clatters beside him. Giyu Tomioka eliminated by Albus Dumbledore. 2 are left. Dumbledore watches Forrest complete another circuit, waving cheerfully at the stars above. Zurubang, Dumbledore calls out. A word, if you please. The golden deity descends. This man has committed no violence, sought no conflict. He has simply run. Dumbledore's eyes twinkle. Surely, the creator of this arena can recognize when forcing the final blow would diminish rather than enhance the spectacle. Zurubang's forearms cross, uncross, cross again. Forrest jogs past. Beautiful stars up there, Mr. Golden Fella. You argue, Zurubang says slowly, that mercy itself is victory? I argue that this man ran beside a dying cynic and gave him peace. Dumbledore smiles gently. Some battles are won by fighting, others by knowing when not to. Zurubang considers. Then, slowly, all 4 of his arms begin to applaud. Granted. Golden light envelops Forrest, warm, kind, painless. He ascends to the stars not as a defeated warrior, but as something rarer, a soul too pure to fight. Forrest Gump, eliminated by Albus Dumbledore. Honorary. Act 5. Victor. 7 stars now. Forrest shines differently. It seems to be gently jogging across the constellation, eternally in motion. Winner! Professor Albus Dumbledore! Zurubang's voice booms across the arena. Incredible, magnificent, A battle for the ages. His voice softens. Dumbledore, you have shown us wisdom, power, and restraint. The arena salutes you. Dumbledore inclines his head. The arena is too kind. These were worthy opponents, all. The portal opens, warm light spills into the frozen cathedral. Dumbledore pauses at its threshold. He looks back at the stars above, at the fallen warriors who will feast together when the season ends. Until next time, he says softly. He steps through. In the silence that follows, Zurubang stands alone amid the frost and starlight. He cracks his knuckles, he stretches his shoulders, his eyes scan the infinite roster of existence. Not bad, he murmurs, not bad at all. Because there's always a next battle.